Welcome to the Instagram stories for Monday, June 26th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. First, let's do a bit of TikTok news, then some Instagram news, and then we'll dive into Mosseri Monday. So let's dive in. The TikTok news I want to talk about is that the COO, Vanessa Pappas, who has worked at TikTok for the past 5 years, is stepping down from her role. She posted a really long explanation on TikTok, which she shared with all TikTok employees, explaining that 5 years ago, when she was first approached by TikTok, she was inspired by the product vision to be a new mobile-first video experience to serve as a canvas, bridge, and window for everyone. She was sold. She goes on to explain how she took a gamble on this company, how it's grown over the past 5 years, and how appreciative she is. I will link to this in the show notes so you can check it out. Why am I bringing this up as news? Because I think it's important to recognize when the leadership at the apps that we rely on changes, because it is often indicative of a change overall. Either that the executives who work there are burning out or are moving on to other projects that we should watch very carefully. And I'm always invested in those other projects because what the people do next often is a key component of what we're going to be spending time on a year or 2 or 5 years from now. Okay, let's get into the Instagram news. Adam Mosseri, in his broadcast channel on Instagram, announced that in the US, Instagram is rolling out the ability to download Reels shared by public accounts to your camera roll. Just tap the share icon on a reel you love and select download. I did this, and the reel downloads with an Instagram watermark and also includes the name of the song on it, which I think is an interesting concept. Kind of gives a shout out to whoever the musical artist is that you included based on the video that you downloaded. You can, of course, remix reels and so forth, but it's nice to have that additional option. I would like to take this time to remind you that if you do create a reel and you post it, whether you've created an Instagram or CapCut or something else, be sure to paste it in every possible place that you can. Share it on WhatsApp, share it on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, every place that you have a profile, share the content. You worked hard to make it. Make sure that as many eyeballs see it as possible. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dive into a few Mosseri Monday questions, so stick around.
Level up your listening with Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra earbuds and headphones with immersive sound and world-class noise cancellation for a not-so-silent night. Visit Bose.com/Spotify to shop sound that's more than a present.
And we're back. Just as a reminder, we are doing Mosseri Monday, and we're going to dive into some questions. Here's a good one. Will we ever have the option to mix landscape images with vertical images in a carousel? They're asking if you can mix formats of images in a carousel that you slide through in a way that makes sense.
We've actually tried to figure out a good way to do this. The issue is that as you swipe through the carousel, the caption jumps up and down and it just feels really shaky. And if you don't do that, then the landscape images need to have big white borders above and below so that it doesn't. But if you have any good ideas on how to do this, let me know. But we've tried it, but we haven't been able to find one that feels simple and well crafted.
I like that answer because it's really about the aesthetic and how it looks from a graphic design standpoint. I'm guessing they had UX designers spend a lot of time on it, didn't come up with anything that looked particularly professional or intuitive, and therefore they dropped it as an idea. But I really like that exploration. Next question. How do you decide what features to add to Instagram? This is a really good question, and I am curious about his answer.
For smaller things, we're often just trying to respond to the feedback that we get in comments and DMs from friends at dinner parties. Sorry for the notification. For bigger things, we're always trying to understand how the world is changing, how people entertain themselves is changing, how people express themselves is changing. We're trying to lean into those shifts. Things like people being more interested in consuming video, people sharing more through messaging relative to stories, relative to feed, and trying to embrace those shifts and not fall behind them.
I like his point about looking at how people entertain themselves as a whole. Even though we really want to get exposure in the feed as much as possible, the truth is that we all spend a lot of time DMing each other, texting each other, whether you use WhatsApp or Instagram DMs or Facebook Messenger, whatever. A lot happens in private messaging, and that is a key component of what he's talking about with how the world is changing. Next question. What do you think Instagram needs to work on? I will give my opinion first, and then I will let Adam answer. First, you need to cut down how long it takes to make a reel that anyone wants to watch. It takes too long to make a reel. Things like making a cover image are annoying, making sure that it's got a good hook so that people come back and watch it more than once is not intuitive at all. It needs to be a lot clearer. There's so many, that's right off the top of my head. I bet I could come up with tons more. Anyway, here's Adam's answer for what he thinks Instagram needs to work on.
We can work, and we need to work on a lot of different things. Simplifying Instagram for sure, consolidating patterns and getting rid of things that people aren't using as much. We can do more for creators, helping them make money, understand an audience, reach more people. And then for everyone, I think we can do more to help inspire creativity. Creativity isn't limited to highbrow, grand masterpieces. Anyone can be creative, and I think we can do more to give people tools to help them express themselves.
One of the things that he mentioned there about giving people the tools to express themselves, I think Instagram does that already, but there's always that internal battle that if you are just going to post a photo to express yourself, the fact is not many people are going to see it. But if you make a video out of it, or the way you express yourself, creativity is through video, and you are very good at it, a lot more people will see it. So it sort of penalizes photographers to a certain extent. I don't think that's really fair, and I don't think that's something that Instagram has spent enough time making people either understand or appreciate or fixing. And they say that they give equal weight to photos and videos, and that's true. But the fact is, you spend way more time watching a video than you do looking at a photo, right? A photo takes 3 seconds to look at. You can like it, you can zoom in, whatever. But if the video is 10 or 15 or 30 seconds long, you're gonna watch that you're giving that video way more time than a photo. That's just the reality of how it works when it comes to digesting content. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to come back tomorrow. More Instagram news, strategy, other tech news. I want to talk about it. You come back. I would appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Instagram news got you covered. Sometimes even TikTok. Relevant platforms in the metaverse ahead of the wave. Without a break or a pit stop. Still waiting for Zuckerberg to give me the big job. Pause. Use trademarks and logos with Insta's permission, of course. If you like the show and you gain some good info, maybe leave a review. It's a type of applause. Just drop me a message if you want to collab. If you got some good content or you want to run ads, at Daniel Hill Media is where I am. TikTok, Facebook and Instagram.